Yeah, look, mate, I need to speak to whoever thought it was a good idea to schedule a game away in Yemen. No, mate, I'm not happy. I'm literally standing in a war zone. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to the Socceroos. And today, well, you can see we've got a friendly away to Yemen. Who organised that? That's absolutely ridiculous. It's a pointless game as well, really, because we're so bad. There's 131st in the world. Then we get down to business against China away from home in World Cup qualifying. Now, they are currently second in the group behind us after last episode. So it's a big game. If we can get a result there away from home as well, then we'll be flying, that's for sure, coming into the rest of the qualifying campaign. Now, you can see the squad that we've picked here. It is more or less the same team as before. The only change is that Ryan Teague has come back in. He's more or less fit. And the player to drop out for him was... Who did I drop for him? Was Kalik, the defensive midfielder. I just feel like they play a similar role in the team. Kalik is a little bit more of a ball winner, whereas Teague is a little bit better sort of with the ball at his feet and getting forward. So that's why we made that change with Teague coming back fit. So a reminder of how things look coming into it. You can see there, we won our first two games in the qualifying group against Iran and Iraq, so that's excellent. And as I say, China there second. They drew away to Japan, so they're obviously a decent enough side, and obviously got a win at home to Thailand there. In terms of as a nation, we are up to 21st in the world rankings now. Now, I've done some maths. A 48-team World Cup with, I believe, 3 teams in a group means there's going to be 16 groups. So we need to get to the top 16 to be a top-ranked side. Now, right now, that means overhauling Colombia. They have 48 points. We have, 51. So there's a long way to go yet. But there's a long way to go in the qualifying campaign as well. So let's hope that we can overhaul that and get ourselves as a top seed, because that would obviously help us massively in terms of qualifying from the group. Now, first things first, it's the friendly against, who did I say we're playing? Yemen. Now we're going to experiment a little bit here with this one. So Ryan goes in goal. I'm using this for match sharpness. Obviously there's some players that aren't playing as much for their clubs as we'd like. So Ryan goes in goal. King and Karasic are going to be the wing backs, the fullbacks, but on attack, with Jackson and Perkins in the middle. Teague and Duncan are going to be the midfield duo. Now we're going to try Volpato, and I'm wearing my my AS Roma hoodie in honor of Volpato in this one. We're going to try him as an inverted winger along with Lecky on the other side, and then Hurustic as a number 10, with Wakayama getting the start up top. A lot of these front four, that's just about getting match sharpness into their legs as much as you know, actually picking them because they're the best player for the position. Alright, so we can see the Yemenis players there. I'll be honest, I don't recognize a name. I don't think I've ever actually seen Yemen play, and I do, as I said before, I have liked my Middle Eastern football, but I don't honestly think I've seen them play. So let's just relax, go out there. It's a friendly, enjoy it as much as you can playing in a war zone. And here we go. So yeah, we're just going to try anything we try is going to have to be, take into account the quality of opposition that we're playing. But we're going to try with the more attacking wide players and then 2 inverted wingers with obviously the striker up top, and just see how that goes for us. You would expect us to be able to win this game anyway, even if we played sort of a 10-0-0 formation. Here we go with Lecky. Ideally, I would have liked Lecky to play to start against China, but he's proven himself to be useful off the bench, and he needs the minutes to get that sharpness up. And Economides would be the other option, and he's done very well, obviously. So it's not the end of the world having him play this one, old Matt Lecky. Here we go with Volpato. We haven't seen much of him yet in a Socceroos shirt. Is this the moment he introduces himself properly? And it is over the top from Lecky. Decent start, though. Here we go with King. Throw in there for Lecky. Matt Lecky. Oh, it's tackled away. Only as far as Teague, though, across to Perkins. Wide for Karasic getting forward. This might be the key to unlocking him, is being a little bit more risk-taking and actually encouraging him to get forward more and more. Because I've said before, attribute-wise, he's arguably our best player. Hurustic with a corner and Jackson just over the top. So it's just a matter of finding exactly what it is that's going. Although actually Volpato now would have a claim on being our best player, wouldn't he? Attributes only. So yeah, we just need to unlock the key to him. I tell you what, Karasic and Volpato down that right hand side could be very useful for us if we could get that working as a duo. Now the reason Karasic is playing here, he's suspended for the China game. Volpato's got himself in a decent position. He cuts back. It's back for Karasic. He chips it in. Lecky's there. He's offside. It was an easy chance, but looks like he's gone just a little bit too early. Yeah, he's maybe a little bit unlucky. The two there have just pushed up, haven't they? And he's been caught. But 7 shots. We'll give him some praise. We're not putting shots on target, though, and that's maybe the issue just now. King with a throw. He goes for Lecky. Lecky's got himself a little bit of space. Lecky has a go. That is stunning from Matthew Lecky. And it is 1-0 in the 26th minute. Not sure how many that is for Lecky now. He's got himself a few goals for the Aussies. And he's got a couple of nice ones for us, hasn't he? But just turned himself into space. The defender couldn't get near him, and just maybe bending away from the goalkeeper. It's maybe not the best advert for goalkeeping, we'll see, but it's not our problem. All right, here we go again. Lecky to Hrustic. Hrustic looking for Volpato. He's got it in behind. That's a really good pass from Hrustic. Back there for Teague. Volpato again. Crosses it for Lecky. Oh, and Lecky's header this time crashes into the crossbar and goes over. But some positive signs there for us, isn't there? Wakayama is... I mean, he still looks a very decent player. You can see, though, he's not playing for the Central Coast Mariners, and I don't understand why. It would certainly help my cause of wanting to pick him every game if they were willing to pick him. Yeah, so he's playing some sort of domestic football. But anyway, I'm going to keep picking him because I think he is the best option for us right now. What I didn't check, actually, was if there's any club instructions on time limits for this game. I should probably check that, and there's a header just over. Let me just check that. I didn't notice any. No, it doesn't look like there is. So that's fine. We can play the team we want. It's an international break anyway, so can they still do that in an international break? Obviously, these clubs, for these players, don't particularly care. I wonder if maybe because the friendly's the first game, they're not that bothered, and there's another head up straight at the goalkeeper. What if we try and raise up this tempo a little bit? Maybe we're just being a little bit too kind to them. I always think a low tempo against a team that is expecting to sit back is a little bit better, just to give yourself a chance, because even if you play at a high tempo, you're going to be spending time in their half. There's a chance for Wakayama straight at the goalkeeper again. And if you're at a bit of a lower tempo, you can sort of pick them apart a little bit easier rather than trying to do things at a million miles an hour. But obviously, different things for different games. Wakayama should have done better there, shouldn't he? And there we go. It's a shame you can't coach the international players. I'd love to tell Wakayama just to take his time and place his shots. Karasic wins that back for us. I mean, it's all us, isn't it? The Socceroos are absolutely running riot here. We just can't get the goals to show the domination we've had in the game. And they're down to 10 men, so we should have a chance to get some domination now. I mean, it's probably a good... Now I think what's going to happen is we are going to absolutely run riot. So we'll look to exploit the flanks. There's another pass looking for Wakayama. Can't quite get onto it. Perkins has the ball. I mean, I wonder if we almost take off a central defender and add someone a little bit further up the pitch. But Karasic has done well. Wakayama, oh, it's a lot of help from the goalkeeper, let's be honest. But Wakayama gets himself a goal. Karasic he did most of the hard work, and I think the goalkeeper did the rest of it. And Wakayama was just there as the middleman to put a shot on target. But nice little bit of play there. Karasic with the overlapping run. It's a decent effort from Wakayama, but the goalkeeper's got to be saving that. And the 10 men of Yemen now find themselves 2-0 down. And I wonder if there's anything we want to do here in terms of changes. Let's get Birighetti on. Let's give the goalkeeper a chance to shine. Other players that we might want against China. So let's take off Hrustic and give Rogic some time. And I wonder if the other change, I wonder if we want to take Valpato off. Give him a bit of an early break, or if we want him as many minutes in his legs. Karasic with a good overlapping run. Again, a reminder, he is suspended for China. But he's certainly, I mean, we're up against a 10-man Yemeni side, so it's still Yemeni? I'm not quite sure what the multiple of Yemen is. But anyway, I think it's Yemenis. Or Yemeni. Yemeni. Might be. Anyway, that's beside the point, isn't it? We're playing against a 10-man Yemen side, so you'd expect Karasic to be doing well. You'd expect them all to be doing well. King brings the ball down. And that is knocked behind for a corner. The issue, of course, would be, could Karasic get forward like he is here against a better side, whilst also performing defensive duties and not being caught out at the back? So whether, as I say, whether that would actually be the case or not, I guess time will tell. I mean, we've dominated that game 2-0. I mean, it's fine, isn't it? I suppose. Yeah, we've got to step things up. Oh, let's just tell them they've done well. It's a little bit like the Afghanistan game, that one, isn't it? I mean, we've gone there, we've done what we've got. It wasn't much of a game. It wasn't ever going to be much of a game, but we've come away with a win and a clean sheet. So that's not too bad. Why on earth would you go to Yemen to watch your own player? But I tell you what, though, he's an international. Play him in the friggin' A-League. All right, I'll see you for China. Okay, welcome back. We are getting ready to face China, and if we can get a result here, a win anyway, we will take an absolute stranglehold on this group. Now, to answer my own question from before, Matt Leckie has 17 goals for his country now, so that's not a bad tally, though from 74 games, an attacking player. You might argue against some of the opposition that he would face in Asia, he could have possibly have done a little bit better. But anyway, it's going to be Matty Ryan in goal for this one. King will not keep his place. It's going to be Gersh back for this one, with Suter, Chapman and Jones, the rest of the back four. Moy and Devlin go in midfield. It's Mabil, Rogic and Economides. Juric goes up top. We've got a good strong bench if we need it. Wakayama and Leckie are the only two that are still a little bit recovering from the Yemen game, but hopefully we won't need them anyway. All right, so we can see the team sheets there. There's a couple of names I recognize here. Zheng, Wu Li, El Kezan. He's a naturalized Brazilian. He is actually, well, he used to be quite good in Football Manager. And then there's a couple of names. Udabo, I think, used to be good as well. But anyway, let's not worry about them. Let's worry about us. We've been on a good run lately. Go out there and impress me. Let's go with that, and hopefully pick up where we left off against Iran. All right, and here we go. I mean, if we're looking at, we've got to finish top four of the group. So away from home, a draw would be absolutely fine. But, you want to win the game and get qualification done as quickly as possible. Then we can be in a situation where maybe we can look to see if there's, some young stars we want to try and unearth to take to the World Cup as sort of your Theo Walcott type. But there's a good ball back from Mabil for Juric. Oh, good save. Good effort from Tommy Juric? No, Denny Juric. Moy will take the corner. Can we get Harry Sutar on the end of it? No, it's away. I've got a cramp in my toe, which is incredibly, incredibly painful just now. It's a cross in and it is away. Economides can't get his head to it. But promising signs. Moy now with a corner. This time it's towards Harry Suter, and this time big Harry Suter does get his head on it, and it's 1-0. Excellent stuff from the Socceroos, and that's what Harry Suter can do. Absolute giant of a man he is, and Moy has picked him out with precision. Look at that leap. Goalkeeper, no chance. And it's 1-0. Now, they are a defensive side, so the fact that we are now in front will mean they have to open up, so that might help as well a little bit if it sort of gets them out of their shape. Look at Japan, 1-1 against Thailand. Could we be in a situation where Japan struggles to qualify? I mean, there's 8 teams plus a playoff spot from Asia. So if you don't qualify from Asia anymore, when we get to the next World Cup in real life, then assuming it stays at 48 teams, which I think is an absolute shambles. I always think, when you're a country like Australia, like getting to the World Cup is massive. It should be a challenge. In like 2005 when Australia got there beating Uruguay on penalties, it probably is the greatest football day of my life. It was absolutely brilliant. Because we hadn't been for so long and it was a challenge of getting there, that was sort of us winning our World Cup. And just making it easier to qualify, I just feel like, Australia's never going to win it. And if it's the top 8 teams in Asia, we're always going to qualify. It's just going to be boring. It's going to be like finishing mid-table in the Premiership season after season. And Australia has a poor team just now. I think anyway. That's just my personal opinion. And I think we also have that's harsh. We have an average team at best. And I think we have a very poor coach. And we were third in our group relatively comfortably. Rogic, it's blocked away. So a 48-team World Cup, we would have qualified with ease, with a terrible team, essentially. Oh, and Economides taps it in, and I think it's going to count. No, linesman's got his flag up. And it's going to be ruled offside. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that. A 48-team World Cup. Yes, I kind of see that there will be teams that have absolutely no chance of even qualifying that might have a chance now. But I just think countries like Australia, where, most Asian countries, to be fair, is an Asian country going to win the World Cup anytime soon? There's always that sort of that outlier team, which personally I think that team could be Canada. I think they've got a very, very decent side. They remind me so much of the 2006 Socceroos. But, even Canada's a good example. They are going to qualify. The US, even, with a poor... the US and Australia are almost in the same boat, aren't they? Just seem to be in absolute shambles right now. They're just going to qualify easily every time. Never going to win it, although the US could maybe, if they get their act together, maybe have a chance. Just on pure population numbers. To me, it just takes any thrill out of it at all. But then, I suppose, maybe Australia can go, instead of just getting knocked out in the group stage, if it's a 48-team World Cup, maybe we can get to knockout football, and that's where we get our excitement. You never know, maybe, knockout games, anything can happen. So, maybe I'm talking myself around to this already. But, yeah. There we go. Jones to Moy. Now, it's still only 1-0. We have looked relatively comfortable. A second goal should seal it. Moy picks up a loose ball. Rogic turns. Rogic bends one. And Rogic was a width of a goalpost away from a goal of the season contender. He has another go. No, he goes back to Moy. Moy's too deep to have a shot. Devlin. I wonder if we want to take a booking out of our midfield there. All three of them have a booking. So Devlin's not having a great game, so let's take him off. Let's get Teague on. Moy to take the corner. Decent. Headed away. Rogic is not having his greatest game, so we could maybe get Volpato on for him. And that just limits the risk. And we might even... There could... Oh no, Suta, what have you done? What have you done? Matty Ryan makes the save. And have China just decided now they're going to start and put the boot down. And try and have a go at us late on here. Good defending by Jones. Rogic has it forward early for Juric. Yeah, Economides can't quite get there. Let's just back it off to balanced. Let's just tell them to focus. We're into stoppage time. We should probably just go and close it down a little bit. And we are, stoppage time away from taking a stranglehold on this group. A win away from home in China. We've only gone and done it. That is huge. Look, we should have won that game by more, but ultimately we got the 3 points, and that is all that mattered. So we can see there Iran getting the win against Iraq, so that moves them up into second place. They're still only 3 points back, but if we look at what it takes to qualify, we are 8 points ahead already. So that is, we don't want to take things for granted. Japan lost at home to Thailand. That's a shock. But anyway, we don't want to take things for granted too much, but we are certainly on the right course, aren't we? But guys, that will do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We'll be back next time. 2 home games, Japan and our second game against Iraq. And I'm going to put my neck on the line and say if we win both of those games against the teams that are currently outside of the top 4, we're there. We're absolutely there, and we can start and look forward towards the World Cup. But that's all for next time, guys. Until then, I've been Aussie Bill, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.